Are you getting inspired by the videos popping up of people starting a new life in Thailand? I get it. From the outside looking in, it looks like a tropical paradise that far exceeds any beauty you'll see in your home country. From the harsh climate to the degenerate distractions, stick around to find out from my first-hand lived experience why training in Thailand might not be for everyone. This video is the counterpart for my previous video, where I gave all the compelling reasons why you should take the leap and move to Thailand to train like a fighter. Make sure you check that out after this video finishes to get a good overall idea of both the good and bad aspects of living in Thailand. While far from perfect, I have a great life in my home country. I'm self-employed in a field where I'm privileged to be able to help people and provide value to their lives while simultaneously making a great living for myself. I have close relationships with my family and friends and a whole lot to be grateful for. I think it's just human nature that when we spend too much time in comfort, we can slowly feel our wills being drained and our souls being crushed. I believe this to be an early warning sign that we are getting weaker and that it is a call to change, a call to action and adventure. Instead of ignoring this call and distracting myself, I decided to do something that I knew would challenge me and push me outside of my comfort zone. Now that I'm almost a month into my journey and the honeymoon phase has largely worn off, let's talk about some of the more challenging aspects to living and training in Thailand. The climate while training is brutal compared to my home country. I'm constantly sweating, even just existing here. Add training on top of this, and I'm losing water faster than I can drink it. It's also near impossible to feel clean in these conditions. When you get out the shower, you're already working up a sweat just towel drying yourself. This makes you feel like you immediately need to hop back in the shower to wash off again. Small cuts and grazes that would heal within a day in a less humid climate seem to take forever to heal here. The constant stream of sweat means that cuts stay perpetually damp, providing the perfect breeding ground for bacteria and infection. What's up, bro? The 6-day-a-week training schedule leaves little time for recovery, so cuts reopen constantly and take even longer to heal. You can't treat cuts in the same way you would in a drier climate, as covering them with a bandage just makes the problem even worse, as it will soon be a soggy, sweat-filled bandage, making the risk of infection even higher and the overall healing process longer. If that doesn't give you a good idea of the reality of living here, then maybe the living conditions I signed up for will. The small, unair-conditioned huts are pretty charming at first, but they're not without their downsides. The mattresses here are rock solid and don't provide much relief for sore muscles and training aches and pains. The bamboo offers little sound protection, so expect sleep to be disrupted and often more of a luxury than a given. Afternoon naps are made near impossible, with the combination of the constant sounds of people hitting pads and the scorching afternoon heat beaming down on the uninsulated huts. You don't have your own bathroom or shower, so expect to be sharing one with a large group of people. I know this sounds snobby, but when you have to limp out of your hut after a hard training session to vomit up a fried sandwich that you definitely should not have eaten, then you might understand where I'm coming from. The lack of regulations with food and water means that many people, including myself, have gotten bugs that wipe you out for a few days. I'm not the best example of playing by the foreigner rules of not eating anything that hasn't been cooked, avoiding the ice and street food, so it probably comes as no surprise that almost every time I've traveled to a foreign country, I've got food poisoning. I'm just very grateful that this time it was one night of vomiting and I was back in action. Compare this to the first time I got food poisoning in a foreign country, where I ended up shitting the bed and having the most awkward hotel checkout in the morning. Anyway, there are plenty of precautions you can take to avoid landing yourself in a similar situation. But if you're like me and just can't avoid all the delicious looking food here, then expect some rough nights coming your way. The pollution and smell of burning rubbish is also something that you have to become accustomed to. Unfortunately, there are very few ways for people on this island to deal with their trash. Often one of the only ways they can get rid of it is to burn it. And waking up with your hut smelling like burnt plastic isn't the most pleasant start to the day. It will leave you congested for training and make you really appreciate and miss the smell of fresh air. The freedom factor, while definitely one of the best parts and most alluring aspects of life in Thailand, can also be a deceptive double-edged sword. It is very easy to get lost in the sauce here. Cheap drugs and alcohol can easily lead people who moved here with dreams and ambitions down the wrong path. Full moon parties are another alluring distraction that can easily lead you back to the dark side of degeneracy and cheap dopamine-fueled pleasures. Combine these attractive temptations with a tired body and mind from training, and it can be an easy recipe for making bad decisions and losing sight of your goals and why you even moved out here in the first place. All this aside, I truly do think that everyone should experience life in a foreign country. While it's not without its challenges, these challenges are what make you appreciate the comforts we often take for granted, as we've become so accustomed and used to having them around. If you can hack the harsh climate, living conditions, and have developed the discipline not to give in to cheap dopamine-fueled attractions, then this place can truly be an oasis of freedom and possibility. Don't expect it to be an easy ride though, especially if you plan on living like a fighter and training throughout your time here. Embrace the harsh conditions, the aches and pains from training long hours. Conquer the discipline required to not give in to temptations, and I have no doubt that you'll experience a lot of personal growth and create fond memories and friendships that will last a lifetime. One of my favourite parts about doing these videos is hearing from all of you. So as always, feel free to drop any questions, comments or abuse down below. Thank you. No, I'm good bro, I'm filming. Thank you.